In today's video, I'm going to show you how I went about solving challenge 13 Instigator found here on the Solidity challenges repo. In order to get started, simply clone the repo and open it up in your editor. Over on the README, it states that this contract holds a hidden path to its own destruction. Discover the way to trigger its demise and claim what remains. So our challenge here is simply to engage the hidden mechanism and drain the contract reserves. We have our command that will allow us to validate our approach. So over here on Instigator.sol, it's a small contract. We have two methods, kill switch and obliterate contract. Kill switch here is checking that TX.ORIGIN does not equal MSG.SENDER. And it's returning that as a Boolean, where the obliterate contract is going to check and it's going to require that it is engaged, so it isn't true. So if it is true that they do not equal, then we're going to be able to call self-destruct. Self-destruct will force the ether that's in this contract to the recipient, and that will be MSG.SENDER. So we need to focus, obviously, on the kill switch. So TX.ORIGIN, that will be the wallet that initiates the transaction. We need to ensure that that address is different than MSG.SENDER, who will be the caller of this obliterate contract method. The only way to do this is to have an intermediate contract where when we trigger it with our EOA, we call our intermediate, and that contract will then call obliterate it. That way the contract is MSG.SENDER. So that's the approach, and I'll show you my attack. My attack's pretty simple. I have my constructor, which is going to take the instigator address. It's going to create the instance of the contract, and then my attack method literally just calls obliterate contract. Like I said, this contract now will be MSG.SENDER. Let's see that in the test. So I import my attack in the top. We have our instance of our contract and the EOA challenger. They create the new contract. They give it 5 ETH. So this is what we're going to be gaining when we call obliterate contract. They run a pre-test, ensure that the balance of the instigator contract is 5 ETH. And they want us to do our test right here. I had to prank the challenger. I noticed that in the setup, that part wasn't done. It'll work either way, whether or not we prank, because we have a default wallet. Forge gives us a default wallet. So I prank the challenger. I deploy the attack contract, pass in the instigator address, and then I call attack. So when we're all done, we will pass this assertion. All right, so let's now see that in action in the terminal. Over here, I've already preloaded the command. It's passed. And we'll go through it quite quickly here. So we can see test obliterate contract. Here's where we had to prank the challenger. We deployed our attack contract. We then called attack. And attack called the instigator contract, which called obliterate. And self-destruct here was triggered because we did have the kill switch engaged, because we did ensure that MSG.SENDER and TX.ORIGIN were indeed different. So all the funds were sent or forced into our attack contract. And we assert here that the final balance of the instigator contract is indeed 0. So that was my approach. If you had a different way of going about it or simply want to talk about my approach, you can reach out to me. My contact information can be found in the details below. See you in the next one.